everyone, and welcome back to my art channel. Today's video is super exciting and I have a lot to say, so hopefully I can fit it all in this video and I don't forget anything. But chances are, if you're watching this video, you've come from Miss Venomous Cupcake's channel. If you have watched that video first, then you probably already know what this whole spiel is about, but if not, I highly recommend going and checking out her video because she's going to kind of introduce this whole thing. Now I'm going to do a quick recap. So basically, the piece that I am creating today is for the Deadly Cupcake Collective. This is an artist collective that was started by Miss Venomous Cupcake, and it includes Miss Venomous Cupcake, myself, Edward Suo, Nyrelle Busby, Shanfable, and Lydia Chan 22. So it includes 6 artists here on YouTube. All of their links are in the description bar below, so you can be sure to check them out and watch all of their videos. I know you will not be sorry. So a couple of months ago, Miss Venomous Cupcake created a video calling all artists to apply to her collective. There was an application process where we had to kind of submit like a little portfolio and get approved. And once you're approved, you become a member of the Facebook page, and we've all been kind of like spending the past few weeks talking, getting to know each other, and getting familiar with each other's art styles, the like. You know, all of that. So that's been really fun because some of these artists are new. Like I said, I haven't worked with them before, so that's always a cool experience for me. It's a great opportunity to network. And so once we were kind of acquainted with each other, we were introduced to our first theme. So the first theme in the Deadly Cupcake Collective is a real event theme. And basically this was pretty open-ended. We got to choose any event that we wanted. It could be a historical event, a fictional event, or a personal event. It could really be anything. But we had to create a piece revolving around that specific event. And we all picked different ones. So that's what's really cool about this collective, is that you're not going to see the same video twice. We all have such different styles, and we all chose kind of a different take on this theme. So my personal take on this theme was to create a piece around Ellis Island, and I wanted to kind of capture the time in America where a lot of people were immigrating to the United States through Angel Island and through Ellis Island. I've always been fascinated with Ellis Island. I think that there's so much history there, and just kind of that era I'm really fascinated with. So I knew right away that I wanted to do this as my event. Now this is actually the second time I've created this piece for this particular collective. I struggled a lot with the first piece that I did, as the girls in the collective know. They helped me out a lot. The first piece I think was really just very rushed for me. It was a little over the top. I think I got a little in over my head, and basically I created like the whole piece in one night, and I woke up the next morning and I wasn't happy with it. I tried my best to fix it, both traditionally and digitally, and at the end of the day, I didn't like it. So instead of submitting a piece of work that I wasn't completely proud of, I decided to go back to square one and start over completely. And so the second time around, I'm a lot prouder of the piece that I am creating. I'll tell you a little bit more about my specific piece in a minute, but I just kind of wanted to cover all of the basics first. So definitely follow along with the Deadly Cupcake Collective, like our Facebook page, follow all of the artists involved. I do believe we will be adding more artists in the future, so just keep an eye out on Miss Venomous Cupcake's channel to see if like applications will be open, and I would also strongly advise following the Facebook page if you are interested in applying in the future. Next, I just wanted to say that I'm so honored to be a part of this collective. I feel like I've already learned so much and grown as an artist, just because I did struggle so much with that first piece. I think I was just kind of nervous. But one of the coolest things about the collective is having kind of a small community of people that you can go to for advice, and people that are there to give you constructive criticism and encourage you and support you. That's a really cool thing about this collective. And the last thing that I wanted to mention is, based on how the collective goes, in the future we, the artists, want to put together like rewards and stuff for the audiences. So definitely it's kind of up to you guys how well this takes off, and in the future we could potentially do a lot of really, really cool things. So I do hope that you will support the collective. Pretty much all you have to do is just watch the videos and like the Facebook page. It's free, totally free to support. I don't know if a lot of people realize this, but supporting artists does not always mean buying their work. It can go a long way just to share links to their Etsy stores and their websites where they have their artwork, and just liking the videos on YouTube, and even just watching the videos truly is more support than you will ever know. So it doesn't always come at a price. I just kind of wanted to say that. So now I'm going to kind of talk a little bit more about the specific piece that I am working on. The first time I created the piece, I colored it with markers, and I think that was actually a big part of the reason I didn't like it. I think markers have a very specific look to them, which I love 90% of the time, but sometimes it's just not the look that I'm going for. So the second time around, I decided to paint the piece using watercolors, which was a little bit of a risk because I haven't been using watercolors that much recently. I used to use them a lot in the past, but I'm kind of relearning them a little bit, and it's been a lot of fun, but it's a little bit of a challenge. So I struggled a little bit with layering the watercolors. I struggled a little bit just with my patience. That's probably the biggest challenge I have with watercolors, is just that I don't like to wait for it to dry. So I work with a lot of wet on wet watercolors, which can look really muddy and grainy at times, which I'm not a huge fan of. But all in all, I am really happy with this piece. Basically, the look that I was going for was to show an immigrant who's made it past Ellis Island and into America. So for those of you who don't know, Ellis Island was like the East Coast gateway to the United States. So people all around Europe and kind of all that side of the world would travel on boats for months in the freezing cold weather, you know, with tons and tons of people, with hardly any room to move, minimal food, nothing but the clothes on their backs and what they could carry. Most of the time they didn't even have suitcases or luggage, only the really fortunate ones did. A lot of them just had the clothes on their backs. They were lucky if they even had money in their pockets. So they would travel, and then they would make it all the way to America, and they didn't even know at that moment whether or not they would be allowed to stay. They had to be like looked at up and down and interviewed, and they had to kind of pass all of these tests and meet all of these marks to be able to kind of pass through the other side of the building that you see in the background in order to officially come to America. A lot of the times people would get sent back even after traveling for all of that time. So it was a really big gamble. You know, you're getting on this boat. You don't know if you're ever going to see your homeland again, or if you will see it again and you don't want to. So it was, I feel like when you actually make it to the other side and you make it through Ellis Island, it's kind of bittersweet because, you know, you're leaving something behind, part of who you are, but then you're also welcoming a lot of new potential. And I think I wanted to capture that bittersweetness in this piece in particular. The figure that you see in the foreground is supposed to be Annie Moore, who was the first immigrant to make it through Ellis Island. I didn't try and go for her specific likeness just because pictures from that time are a little kind of hard to see, and they were a little hard to translate into my particular style. So I really just kind of wanted the figure I drew to embody her, meaning like I just wanted to draw an immigrant who was female, and she's kind of standing alone, meaning like she's one of the first ones to make it through. So she's kind of a trailblazer, if you will. I decided to give her luggage. I'm not particularly sure if that's historically accurate. I don't know if she had luggage when she came to the United States. But I thought, you know, I mean, it would kind of be a good contextual piece to add. You know, she's not just standing on this dock. She's coming to America to stay, to live. She traveled all this way. And then there's a couple of shadowy figures in the background meant to also be immigrants. A lot of people, you know, brought their whole families here in hopes of starting a life here. So I kind of, I did a little family of 3 kind of pictured in the back there, and then one on the docks in the very, very background on the left side. And I don't know, maybe he didn't make it, maybe he got sent back. So this piece is not meant to be like cute like a lot of my artwork is. It's not meant to be fun and upbeat. It's kind of a little bit more serious, but I really do love this era, and I think Ellis Island was such a pivotal moment in the United States. I don't think the United States would be at all what it is today without all the immigrants coming from Ellis Island and Angel Island for that matter. And I think that we are better because of it. I think that, we are a country built on immigrants. That's totally, totally my belief. And I know immigration at this time is vastly different than immigration is today, but this is just something that I'm kind of fascinated with. So yeah, I really did challenge myself a lot with this piece, perspective-wise, just with the layout, and I'm really happy with the way it looks. Again, I have to give a big thank you to all the girls in the collective for all of your advice and your constructive criticism. It really, really did help me a lot. And as you can see now, I'm going in with colored pencils. I did that towards the end just to kind of further define certain aspects of the piece that I couldn't quite get with the watercolors. But yeah, we're nearing the end of the video, and I just wanted to say that I'm super excited to be part of this collective and to be working with these artists. Again, definitely just go subscribe to all the channels down below, like the Facebook page, keep up with everything that's going on so that you can stay involved in this collective. And I really do hope that it takes off and it gets off the ground, and that this has a lot in store for it in the future. But until then, I'm just really excited that I'm creating more art for you guys. I hope you have enjoyed the bonus videos going up on my channel lately. It's always fun for me to drift off my schedule every now and again. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow with my regularly scheduled video for the week. And until next time, guys, take care. I love you all so much.